Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. There's a link in the description below. We're in it. We're full swing. Out of the park, hopefully. We are beginning to get a lot more news. I don't know why I'm doing this. About a number of states within the United States who are beginning to prepare and or have in the pipeline some kind of a Bitcoin strategic bill. If you've missed out at all, how'd you do that? How'd you ignore all this news since around November? The last news that we got was from a guy called Dennis Porter. He's on Twitter. He's kind of like the Dr. Prophet of all of this, in that he says stuff, he ends up being correct, and it's like, how the fudge did you know that? Like that kind of thing. We heard from him initially that there were two states who were going to start accumulating Bitcoin. That turned to 5, that turned to 7, then that turned to 13. And then I think the last news that we really got was that apparently 22 different states, 22, are apparently working on some type of a Bitcoin bill of some sort. The most recent one now, or rather all of them, is Oklahoma. Apparently someone by the name of Dusty Deevers, Deevers, has introduced a legislation aimed at what he calls empowering the state's residents and businesses to embrace Bitcoin. It is known as the Bitcoin Freedom Act. It seeks to enable employees and vendors within Oklahoma to opt for Bitcoin as a payment option for salaries and for transactions. This one is as crazy as all the other ones. As far as I can tell, the Oklahoma bill does not explicitly state the idea of a Bitcoin reserve for the state, but this one is more of a making it legal for people to do with Bitcoin as they so please on a legal level. So you'd be able to take it as an employee, you'd be able to give people Bitcoin as an employer, and you'd be able to use it inside of stores. I know it sounds nonsensical, and it's because we shouldn't have to do these things. That was also a problem in 2023 and the beginning of 2024. A number of states within the United States began to announce and introduce bills that basically said, hey, if it's yours, it's yours. And I remember reading it the first time and I was like, what? They had to make bills that said, if you mined that Bitcoin, it's yours. If you bought that Bitcoin and someone steals it, it's not theirs, it's yours. Like, it had to be written into law, and it was like, I just assumed we had logic when it came to like owning things, because if it's mine, then it's not yours kinds of thing. So this is basically setting up the framework, and I say this lightly. For the future, there are a lot of Bitcoin maximalists who do believe that in the future, people will be paid if you want to be paid in Bitcoin. So as far as like, we saw years ago, a lot of like celebrities were getting paid, or half their paycheck was getting paid in Bitcoin. And it's kind of, I guess, maybe the exact same thing. We'll see exactly where that ends up going. I think a lot of people in the coming years will opt into things like this and will want at least a quarter of their salary, if not half of their salary, paid out in Bitcoin, especially as we keep going higher and higher in price. Tying directly into this as well, newer places. We have New Hampshire and North Dakota. Apparently, the New Hampshire bill is using blah, 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 so-and-so, careful phrasing, yada, yada, so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. So they're both, North Dakota and New Hampshire seem to be creating bills that will also allow the state to be able to accumulate Bitcoin as well, at least from the wording of all of these things. On the same day, North Dakota followed suit, spearheaded by Representatives Nathan Toman, John Christie, and Senator Jeff Barta. Apparently 11 people are already on board. The North Dakota proposal appears to have strong bipartisan support. These states join Pennsylvania, yada, yada, list. So, as I stated before in other videos, I'm interested to see exactly where this ends up going and how far this actually continues. As far as we're kind of at a sky's the limit kind of point. When we, I'll give it to you this way. I don't really know when people are going to take this seriously, and I assume it's some kind of a pendulum moving in some sort of a direction. My friend was just mentioning, he said it's really weird when we were at a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 Bitcoin, the idea of $100,000 was like not unfathomable, but it was more like the world's going to go crazy when that happens. And now we're over 100K constantly. And it feels like even people within crypto aren't paying attention. I just saw someone mention on Twitter that the amount of retail. So normally we see, like on Google Trends, you can see how many people are actually like Googling something at any given time. And usually during the bull run, we see a massive spike, and it continues going higher and higher, of people Googling, how do I buy Bitcoin? How do I get Bitcoin? How much Bitcoin is enough? Like, I mean, all these different kinds of phrases, and the people start buying Bitcoin and we see the price go up. But as we continue to go higher and higher, retail still has not entered the market. And it's not something negative. Like, that's the really weird part. You would assume, well, where are they? We need them, like that kind of thing. The longer we go up with just us in the market is incredible, because retail always pushes the price a lot higher, but retail also is not paying attention to any of this news. That's what I meant. Like, I wonder what not the spark, but what the thing is going to be for normal people to really actually get it. Is it like people need their own state to announce it, or like their best friend has to be like, yo, bro, I'm buying Bitcoin. And they're like, what? I have to do the same. Because I have said countless other times before, I would love an additional billion people in this market who would benefit from prices rising. I think Bitcoin should not only be owned by rich people. You know, I would like normal people in there as well. But if normal people aren't going to pay attention, well, then I guess that's just the way that things are. As of right now, Oklahoma, North Dakota, geez Louise, and New Hampshire all have Bitcoin bills as well. Once again, March, April. We should, according to the news, see over a dozen different states also accumulating Bitcoin and having Bitcoin bills for themselves as well. Yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.